With a population of over 3.8 million people and a growth rate of over 5%, Abuja is arguably one of Nigeria's finest cities. And of course, one of the finest cities in Africa. You can argue that, but it remains so. But apart from the stats of Abuja, one of the rising issues in Abuja is the issue of class divide. It is believed that there's a lot of gap between the different class groups in Abuja. And that has led to what we will call the class stereotype.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be talking today on this episode of Made in Abuja Podcast. My name is Okoyandi, your host for this episode, and of course, my co-host,
Ochiba Anna.
It doesn't just work like that.
Of course, you don't want to. Just to maintain, just be as real as you can and build your art. And trust me, with time, of course, you don't have to be anything. You're not paying 15,000 to rent a private jet.
Bro, you can.
In Abuja is a very, very good place for you to come. So, Abuja is, you can't argue the fact that Abuja has this certain class to it.
Yeah, it does.
That has to be established. Of course, there's a certain class to Abuja. People have this belief that Abuja is here, right?
Yeah.
Do you even think that is true?
See, I feel like every working system has some level of classism.
Yeah.
That's what makes the economy functional. It's like saying that the rich, the middle class, and then the poor. I feel like that's what makes an economy stable, because the rich needs the middle class the rich needs the rich, the middle class need the poor needs
So where will you rate Abuja in this divide now? What was your rating of Abuja? Where do you place Abuja? Is
the
it
rich middle class.
I don't actually even believe in that middle class. You're either rich or you're not rich. But that's
I mean, there are people that still just in between, and then they somehow thrive in Abuja.
Yeah.
But classism in Abuja is different, because I feel like people feel like there's classism in Abuja because people in Abuja get to keep a particular kind of relationship with just close people around their circle.
And then the fact that there is this feeling, this air in Abuja, nobody really cares. Everybody is on your own, right?
Yeah, on your own.
Even when you go out to events, much as I don't go out much, I get to watch events. I get to watch some of these live events, these comedians when they come to Abuja. And the crowd in Abuja is always kind of different.
Different.
And I think the reason is because perhaps you're coming in as a celebrity from maybe Lagos or from somewhere, and then you come to Abuja, you're coming with your nice car, and then you see one person inside a car.
A very random person.
Yeah,
a very random person.
He doesn't even, nobody knows him in the hall.
With something way
but if you see what he parked outside,
yeah.
if you see what he parked outside, you follow backstage. Just go to the airport. Right?
Yeah.
So such people, you just see them, they come, they sit down, and then you're cracking jokes and you're doing everything to make them just sipping what they are sipping, and they're just laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Meanwhile, in places like Lagos, Port Harcourt, when you go to places like that, even the rich people, there are rich people with a lot of rich persons in this place.
Yeah.
Especially Port Harcourt, for example, is an oil city. So there's a lot of wealth in Port Harcourt. But you still find even the rich people laugh, and express
Very
themselves.
free, yeah,
but in Abuja is I think that contributes to what makes people believe that there is a stereotype in terms of class in Abuja.
I think
But
so.
how do you think that affects a young thirsty entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur who's coming into Abuja to, start up? Do you think this classism affects them?
So me personally, right? Yeah. I feel like, to me, there are three factors.
Yeah.
As an individual.
Yeah.
There's the brain factor.
Okay.
There's the fine girl or fine boy syndrome.
Okay.
And then there's the hard work. Mm-hmm. Let's leave the who you know out of it. Let's just talk about a random person just coming into the Abuja market.
Yeah.
If you don't have the brain, if you don't have the brains to, get to work, please have the fine girl or the fine boy syndrome.
Okay.
Be fine. If you don't have that, please be
Okay.
ready to work hard.
It's okay.
If not, please just go back to where you came from. And I know it's difficult to break into certain circle because they've been able to grow that within a long period of time, and trust has been able to come into place. I get it. But if you have any of these three, trust me, you'll be able to break in. To a large extent, I would say that the fine girl syndrome thing has helped me.
Confession time.
No. It's
See,
different.
I think that is what they are talking about
No.
when they say Abuja. Because that's the entire point now. That's what
It's
people talk
different
about.
when you have something else to back that up.
So people like me now don't have a place in Abuja.
You do have the fine boy syndrome. Don't lie about it. You do. And I'm very sure it has worked for you.
Where?
It has.
Where have I
I think
gone
be
to?
truthful and just admit
But
it.
it's true. Where have I gone to? I've not even gone anywhere to look for anything. So how will it even help?
You've been in the media space for a period
Doing
of time.
my thing within my own space. I've
So
not gone
how
anywhere.
many times would you tell me that it wasn't because you're a fine boy that someone actually did employ you for a particular job? Because you're fine and then you gave an input that was really nice.
You're not going to employ, for example, the things that I do, I don't need to be a fine boy to actually be employed for them. Because, okay, for example, voiceovers. You don't even need to see
You don't
my
need to
face.
see the person. I
Just
guess
my
that
voice.
one.
If my voice is good enough, you get me to do.
See,
If
it's
you want me
different
to
for a girl,
videograph,
oh.
if you want me to shoot your film, it's not really about my face. It's about what I can offer. Number one, then relationship.
That's the brain work.
But
That's
our
the
fine
brain
girls is
work.
part of the
You
class.
see
Because
this?
to maintain beauty is money. You can't
See
be
this
broke
fine
and
girl
maintain
thing
beauty.
here.
So what
I'm
are you
going to
saying?
tell you for a fact that
Yes.
it doesn't just work like that. People don't just see you and want to give you.
Surely those men that are
the-
wearing starched Kampala, kaftan.
No, they don't want to just give it, throw it at you. You know, there's just. I think I don't. It's kaftan.
Starched one. You know those ones that are razor cut.
No, see, Andy, I feel like there's an idea about a fine girl already.
Okay.
That because you're beautiful,
She has sense.
you don't. People feel like as a fine girl, because you're fine, you don't have it.
Okay, it's the opposite. Okay.
So when you, I'm not
Yeah,
I'm
saying
not saying
fine
that.
girls have sense. Okay.
Yeah, people feel like they don't. So when you have something
So
more
yes,
to
you heard it
offer,
first. You heard it first on this podcast that fine girls don't have sense.
that's not what I said.
Okay.
Please, I said
Okay.
people feel like they don't.
Okay.
So when you get to give out something, something else that people were not, expecting to hear, it makes everybody, happy.
Yeah,
They
they're
want
like,
to get
okay,
it.
this is not
Yeah,
what we're
they realize
expecting.
exactly,
Okay.
and then now they want to give you audience.
Yeah.
So whatever it is you have to sell at that point, whatever brand, whatever it is you're bringing to the table at that point, it makes it easy.
sells.
Yes, it sells because already you're fine, you're presentable. Every organization wants to put you as a front man, and now you have sense. Wow. That's what it is. So if you don't have the fine girl syndrome or fine boy syndrome, you don't have the brains. You don't know how to do hard work. Please try to have relationships with these people.
Okay, see, do you think, to a very large extent, because in a society like Abuja that is considered a society for the bourgeoisies and all that, do you think, in all honesty, that what helps you grow in Abuja is who you know?
No,
You don't think
I don't
so?
think so.
But I think I
have-
beg to differ on that.
You have your opinion, but I can tell you, coming into Abuja, I didn't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. I mean, I had a vision on, who I would want to work with, but I didn't know a lot of people. Now, I knew, okay, this person is this person, and in order to work with this person, this is where you're supposed to be, this is where you're supposed to be around. There's something about intentionally wanting things. Then you work towards it. It does not have anything to do with who you know.
My point of argument with that would be the fact that I believe, generally, that success is based on relationships.
Relationship helps. It does help.
Right?
It does help.
In fact, everything about success is about relationships.
It does help.
It is somebody that knows somebody that recommends somebody. Right?
I wouldn't agree with that totally.
Not all of the times, right?
Okay.
But if you check it, for example, now, knowing somebody that has a good link within an industry to give you a heavy contract gives you a higher chance of being more successful than someone who doesn't. So what I usually tell people some of the times is that when you're coming to a place like Abuja, don't think, oh yes, Abuja is a place where it's only people that knows people that succeed and all of that. Don't think that and just relax. Accept it that it is true. That's
And
the
work
first
towards
thing.
it.
Accept that it's true because it's actually true. So that
I
when
don't
you
think
come, your first focus is building relationships. We live in a time where people are always trying to break relationships.
Yes, everybody
There's
wants
always this game,
my
I want my
space.
space.
Yes.
You are poor and you're looking for space,
Oh my goodness.
right? I don't mean to be harsh,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You're not doing very well yet, and all you care about is your space and all of that.
space.
You're breaking relationships, pushing all the people that are supposed to help you with bad attitude and bad character, and you're feeling like there's this word, it's my sign. It's my zodiac sign. So you're using bad attitude. You're just pushing people away. You're throwing people away here and there. You don't care. I can survive without this. I can survive without this. Before you know, you wake up one morning, dress up, and you realize you are 40.
Yeah,
You've been in Abuja, but you're alone because everything about life is actually built on relationship. If you don't need relationships to grow, God would have just created only you. Killed your parents, killed your siblings, killed everybody. So
I agree with that, but it does not take away the fact that you have to have a mindset that you want to thrive. See, everything starts with you.
Of course.
See, the determination, the motivation, nobody will motivate you. You have to tell yourself that you want to do this thing. You see those conscious decisions to take actions.
Yeah.
They're what make you thrive in cities. See, if I don't know a certain kind of person and I want to get to know the person, all I need is to know their routine, is to know where they would want to stay. On a normal day, where would this kind of a person want to go and eat? Where would this kind of person want to, play golf?
Yeah.
You just take yourself to those environments and you get to meet those people. So whether or not there's a relationship somewhere.
Not prior. I'm not saying you should have a relationship prior.
Okay,
no.
maybe.
I'm saying that when you come to Abuja,
build
your
it.
first
Then
focus
I
should
agree
be on
with that.
building relationships.
I agree with that.
Get to meet people. I don't go out a lot. It's part of one of the problems my folks have with me, especially my friend Nimi, very nonsense boy. He always complains that I don't go out. I don't mingle a lot. When I came to Abuja, I knew that that's what I needed the most.
Yeah.
So I begged him. I told him, I said, okay, see, I don't go out a lot. Why don't you do the going out? Meet people. Tell them what I can do. Now, you may not have such people, right? And I don't go out because I don't even, what will I do when I go out? I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't club. If I go to a club,
You
I
can
may
go
have
for
headache.
events. They're really nice
Which
events. Entrepreneurship events. There are a lot of events.
Except things like that, possibly. So there are going to be people like that who come into Abuja who are not very social, who don't go out a whole lot. But you still have to find a way to build relationships and build a connection with people because that's how Abuja
But
works.
there's this thing now that is really common among the youth. That, a lot of times they get to say things like, I don't want to be used. I don't want people to use me. And I always get to say things like, it's either you are used or using someone or you are useless.
If you are not used, you are useless. See,
Right.
I think people who usually say that are people who have not really gone through biographies of successful people.
Okay.
Every successful person at some point they were
Was used
in
or
quotes.
using someone.
In quote, they were used in quote because
The word used
that
is being abused.
that idea of being used is actually the point where you're learning quite a number of things. Okay, if you ask some of these persons that succeeded, if they actually didn't go through that phase of in quote being used, they won't have learned the lessons they learned that has kept them in their career and kept them from making mistakes in signing certain deals, and they won't have had those experiences to build that knowledge, right? So being used is not, you just have to be wise enough to know when to draw the line. You've got to understand that, okay?
Yes.
When to draw the line when people are overstepping the boundaries and all that. But that idea of I don't want to be used, I want to be in, but you've gone to a town like Abuja.
You're a human.
You need to first of all understand that people might
use you or you use someone.
Like people might use you
else.
because what that means is that you're going to do quite a number of things free. You're entering the market, nobody knows you. calm
should
down,
be
you're going to
ready
make
for
the money,
that.
you're going to make the money. It doesn't mean that you should allow people to exploit you, but be wise enough to put yourself out there first, right? Put yourself out. I can't mention to you how many persons have made videos for free of charge, right? Just simply because I know that if I made a video for this person, he has a circle of influence that will definitely see the video. And
First of
they're
all,
going to ask who made
that's
this. So
being intentional.
it's not just about the money just now. So let me do this. But when I notice, for example, when I begin to notice that this person wants to begin to take advantage, undue advantage of it, I know how to cut off. In a way, not to break the relationship, but to, just sever myself and save myself all of the hurdles, the hassle that might come with. So in essence, I think if you're coming into Abuja, one of the things you have to build is you have to have relational intelligence. Don't just be good at what you do. Have relational intelligence. Be smart in building relationships because on the long run, that's what's
going to help.
It's going to help you in this town.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys think there is some level of classism in Abuja that we haven't discussed.
And if you've experienced classism, why not share with us in the comment? Tell us what you've experienced in Abuja that makes you feel like there's classism. Tell us your story of your encounters.
And even if you have questions,
you can ask.
Respond to it the next time we're in another episode.
So that is that on this episode of Made in Abuja Podcast, the podcast that brings you all of the fun, all of the interesting intrigues, and of course, all of the information that you need to survive your day-to-day life in the capital city, Abuja. Until we meet on the next episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and of course, continue. I don't have any other thing to say. Bye.
Bye.
It doesn't just work like that.
Of course, you don't want just to maintain, just be as real as you can and build your art. And trust me, with time, of course, you don't have to be anything. You're not paying 15,000 to rent a private jet.
Bro, you can.
In Abuja is a very, very good place for you to come.